War has been a part of mankind's story since the Stone Age. Throughout history and across nation, men and women have trained their minds and bodies, disciplined and deadly, honing their craft with blood and steel in the art of the blade.
Most people, when they hear the word martial art nowadays, they think of the Eastern martial arts of karate, taekwondo, all the sort of the Jackie Chan antics. These are legitimate martial arts and they're excellent, but the term martial arts encompasses both West and Eastern martial arts. Martial arts comes from the phrase the arts of Mars, with Mars being a Roman god of war. And not many people realize that there actually are Western martial arts to equal and rival the Eastern martial arts. I've studied a great many martial arts over the years, Eastern and Western, Kabuto, Kendo, fencing, boxing, all sorts of things. My Western swordsmanship experience comes mostly from about 8 years of fencing, a few years of historical rapier reenactment, and then about 2.5 years now of my own Western swordsmanship club.
Western martial arts compared to Eastern martial arts are relatively unknown. When I tell people I do Western martial arts, they have no idea what I'm talking about. I would mention a rapier or a longsword, and people assume that a rapier is like fencing, and well, they've never heard of a longsword. So what I do is I explain that a rapier is not like fencing, it's more like Zorro or Three Musketeers style. And a longsword is barely in Western culture, but we do see it. I think Aragorn has one, and they're used in Game of Thrones. Unlike
Eastern martial arts, the Western martial art tradition, all the masters have died out. All we have left are their written manuals. A number of these manuals have survived in museums, and they've made them available through commercial printing to the broader public audience. We managed to get our hands on some of those, and we're reading them and interpreting them and trying to recreate them, the physical actions from their written words.
Grip with your right hand outside around his leg. Pull his right arm well to you over your shoulder and lift him upwards.
Oh, it's that one. I think it's
something like that happening.
He's very clear about what kind of area you're working in, what periods you're working on, and things like that, but he's also quite willing to kind of workshop anything, and so like a few of us have different martial arts backgrounds, and we can kind of bring anything to the table and take different takes on techniques and try and work things out from a bunch of different approaches, different angles, and he's very happy to deal with that. Oh, this wouldn't happen without him, that's for sure.
Our swordsmanship group aims to reinterpret and understand where these Western martial artists were coming from, trying to figure out the systems in their own context, recreate them, and then distribute them to the broader world as well. We want to try and get as many people understanding what these are as we possibly can. I picked up my first sword when I was maybe 3 years old, and ever since then I've just loved using the swords. I have a memory of when I was at Disneyland in Paris, having a duel with another 5-year-old on the steps of the Sword of the Stone exhibit. The sword itself has been the king of the battlefield, the queen of weapons, for quite a long time. It was the dominant weapon in the battlefield because it best combined both offense and defense. But more than anything else, it survived throughout the ages because it became a symbol of something more than its simple battlefield practicality. It became a symbol of nobility, of power and class, and it's survived throughout the ages in that setting.
Michael is one of the top few people in my life I'm inspired by and amazed by. I've participated in classes with Michael Ovens for just over a year now, about twice a week on average. I attended my first class in March last year and I just watched.
I've known Michael Ovens for about 4 or 5 years now. He's very creative and he's always making his own clothes.
Those with wisdom loathe the one forced to defend. This you should grasp. All arts have length and measure. The age of writing the manuals themselves is past, but I hope that the age of interpreting manuals has begun. I hope that one day people will be reading my own interpretations of these manuals.
Though soldiers and weapons have changed over time, there are still those masters, blades ever ready, because war never changes.